Hello students, I am Praveen Kishore and today I am going to start a new series of discussion which is related to GS paper 1. The questions that have come in previous year, that is on Indian society. Let me tell you one thing, that usually when we study GS, most of the faculties, most of the institutions, they emphasize on polity, geography, economics, history, right, current affairs, international relations, etc., etc. But they don't put much attention on Indian society, whose contribution has increased in the last few years. If you see, if you analyze the paper, what you will find that every year around minimum 50 marks questions comes from Indian society, its culture, and those things are not covered by comprehensively by others. So one of the advantage of sociology optional is that when we study sociology, it gives us insight about the Indian society, right? And therefore people who are selecting this optional, they can answer this properly. Anyway, let us start the discussion. The first we have taken the discussion on the question that came in 2022, and as you see, how is the growth of tier 2 cities related to the rise of a new middle class with an emphasis on the culture of consumption, right? Now you see this question number 9, GS paper 1, Indian society, CSE 2022, right? So we have to write this answer in 150 words. Now here I will be explaining the question, what are the things that we must know to answer this question, right? So this question we are going to discuss. Now we'll see. So we go to the second slide. What here we have to know, right? Now when we are writing new middle class, that means there must have been an old middle class, right? So let us see what is the difference between new middle class and old middle class. If you look at the Indian society, till 1990, there was dominance of the manufacturing sector, or what is called as the secondary sector of the economy, right? Post 1990, with the digital revolution, we have set up IT industries and many other things. So this was dominated by tertiary sector of economy, that is also known as service sector. The middle class, the educated people who worked in this secondary sector of economy, they were called as old middle class, right? They were moderately paid and therefore they had saving attitude. Now you see, if you see the institutional arrangement regarding social welfare or social security pre-1990, our social security was not that strong. For example, private sector was not allowed to run the government, run the life insurance, health insurance institution, etc. And it was only the government institution that was doing it. And that too in a very weak form. So what we are calling here, in those era, there was undeveloped bureaucratic agencies providing social security with life insurance, health insurance, etc. If you see 1990 onwards, when foreign investment was allowed in these sectors, we have developed bureaucratic agencies providing social security in both private and public sector. Now when you are socially secured, definitely you don't shy away from spending your income. Right? So what you are finding here, in this case, since social security was not adequate and therefore future security was a larger concern than the quality of life, right? Now here what happened, since we were more paid, like we say here they were moderately paid and saving attitude, here handsomely paid and consumerist attitude. So this is the new middle class. They are the product of tertiary sector of economy, that is service sector. They are handsomely paid and have consumerist attitude. Why? Because they are secured by the bureaucratic agencies, provide different types of insurance, and they are more interested in the quality of life rather than the future security, right? So this is the difference between old middle class and new middle class. The question is, what are the reasons that led to emergence of these new middle class? Now we see now since it is asking about tier 2 cities, so we have to know what is the difference between tier 1 city and tier 2 cities, right? Now if you look at tier 1 city, they are mainly metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, etc. And its population is more than 50 lakhs. When you talk about tier 2 cities, their population is between 10 and 50 lakhs. Like cities like Lucknow, Jaipur, Amritsar, Pune, Noida, Gurugram, etc. etc. Mysore also it is there. So these are the tier 2 cities. So first difference is the difference of population. Second is, in the early period, metropolitan centers were the main attraction for the people for employment opportunity or aspirational people. So that's why it is highly congested, high real estate cost, and land is not generally available in the immediate vicinity of the cities. To set up industries, we are not talking about the fossil fuel run industries, we are talking about electronic industries, we are talking about IT industries, etc. etc. Right? So what you find here, land is not available, and even if land is available, it is very costly, right? So highly congested, high real estate cost, unavailability of land, etc. And also people who migrate to metropolitan cities, their aspirations are high. No doubt, qualified people go, but their aspirations are high, so they are not ready to work on relatively moderate payment, right? Now you see tier 2 cities, population is 10 to 15 lakhs. Naturally, in the hinterland of these cities and inside the city also, the real estate cost would be moderate, land would be available, right? And what we are saying, land is available. Availability of land means cost effective availability, that is there, and therefore what happens, we can set up industries. Now those people who work in these tier 2 cities, their aspiration level is also high. So people with similar merit, if they work in the tier 1 city, their aspirations is very high. When they work in the tier 2 city, their aspiration is low. Secondly, the cost of living here is high, the cost of living here is low. Therefore, what happens in tier 2 cities, we get the same quality for lesser payment, which becomes cost effective for the company. So today what you will see, electronics and IT industries, they are mostly being set up, barring aside a few very large corporates, INCs, right? What we find, they set up their industry establishment in tier 2 city, and in this tier 2 city the payment is relatively better in comparison to non IT industries. Therefore, what happens, if you see here, on the one hand, social security cover is better. Second, land is less costly, so its cost of establishment of an industry is less, and we get the workforce also at relatively cheaper cost. So these tier 2 cities have become a center of attraction for the economic growth, and the people who are working, they constitute middle class. Naturally, such people, they have more money at their disposal, they are they feel socially secure, and therefore definitely what will happen, they would not shy away from spending money, and these people would be more interested in quality of life rather than the future security. So these people, these middle class, are consumerist in nature, and this is called new middle class, right? So in tier 2 cities, this new middle class, they are consumerist, and because of that, what happens, multinational brands, popular brands, they are attracted to invest in these cities, which further improves the employment opportunity. Mall culture develops, etc., etc., right? So this is the description of this particular question, that you have to know the difference between tier 1 city and tier 2 city. You have to understand the difference between old middle class and new middle class. Then we have to analyze why new middle class is more spendthrift, why new middle class is more consumerist, why middle class is quality of life concerned, right? And how this has helped these cities attract popular brands, high end restaurants, malls, good entertainment industries, etc., etc., making it further a center of growth of economy, right? Now, definitely this is analysis, and the complete transcript or script that is written exactly in the model answer form, it is uploaded on this Telegram channel, right? By becoming member of this Telegram channel, and we have put this QR code, you can scan and become the member of the NICE IS for Sociology Telegram channel, and there you will find the transcripts or the complete script of this model answer, right? Now, I am Praveen Kishore, faculty sociology, and this particular program of sociology is combinedly arranged and organized by NICE IS and IS Delhi Institute, which is situated in Old Rajendra Nagar, Delhi, right? Thank you. Wait for the next question discussion, right? Please like and subscribe the channel so that you get the information when the next question, previous year question discussion is uploaded. Thank you.